Well, that was a crazy one. Padres walk off Jake Cronenworth into the Crone zone. Obviously, they end the homestand, their last homestand, with the walk-off from Merrill, I believe, the homer. And then here with the walk-off homer, it should not have been a walk-off. We understand that. I was not expecting Jeremiah Estrada to be pitching in the ninth inning. I was curious, why was he sitting in the bullpen there the entire game? They kept showing him, and it's like, oh, okay. Usually when you're not available, like I didn't see Robert Suarez sitting there in the bullpen tonight, and he was not available. But Estrada's available, pitches the ninth, and there were some questionable calls, no doubt about it. That umpire tonight, for both sides, just was not good. Pitches on to a lefty inside. Those are not strikes. And he was calling a lot of strikes on those pitches. And then the strike zone got smaller a little bit as the game progressed. Mike Schild obviously was irritated. Yelich ends up reaching base, and then he ends up scoring, and they have to go into the bottom of the ninth. But how they got there, I mean, they somehow were able to be in a situation where they had a couple-run lead, I think, in the eighth inning. They had a one-run lead there in the ninth inning. In that ninth inning, this is Captain Hindsight, and I understand, because I'll admit I was not thinking this in the moment. I should have, knowing Mike Schilt, because he loves the defensive replacements. But he did not put Higgy in the game there in that ninth inning, or even in the eighth inning, as the catcher, and instead left Campy there. I know Higgy, he caught the hot day game in Philly yesterday, but it's not a day game after a night game. It was a night game after a day game. But maybe Higgy's catching tomorrow or the next 2 days or the rest of the series. Or probably the next 2 days, and then maybe Campy catches on, Sunday. We'll see. But I would have, and this is easy to say in hindsight, but I would have put Higgy behind the plate, especially for the ninth inning, when you have a lead there and you need to get this win. You didn't know that Crony was going to have the walk-off homer in the bottom of the ninth and everything was going to be fine. Because Campy, I don't want to call it lazy. It just seems like it could be... He could be just better behind the plate this year. I don't know how to say it, but there's times where it feels like he could be framing some pitches a little bit better. There's times where he could go block the ball instead of trying to backhand the ball. Just little things like that I hope that he's working on. I hope that the Padres are, and I hope that Campy as well is being accountable and looking back at it and being like, yep, got to be better there. But just, again, the lead up and how this happened, Schilt pulled the right strings, it got dicey, and he pulled the right strings to be in the situation where you had Estrada on the mound in the ninth inning to go get that win, right? Before you even had to get to the bottom of the ninth inning. Endo De Los Santos gets the ground ball. Peralta gets the strikeout. I think that was with the bases loaded against Gary Sanchez. Was I scared in that situation? Yeah, I was, because it's a former Padre up at the plate, bases loaded, and Endo De Los Santos, or no, that was Wandy that was facing him. Wandy has had some rocky outings. De Los Santos says as well, and he's given up some bombs. So it happened. They were able to get it done. It was great to see Manny have the homer. That was not the best swing. It's not like he barreled up the ball. Some stadiums, I feel like that was going to be a fly ball to right field. But it's Petco Park. Merrill's homer, though, what I liked about these homers tonight, it was 2 strikes. And they were able to still do damage on those 2 strike counts. Merrill, that breaking ball, I look at that replay and I'm like, would he swing at that again? He probably would say yes because it was a homer. But with the amount of break that it had, that ball was down. That was not a strike of, where it ended up. But, Merrill made history tonight. I don't know if you guys saw the stat going around social media, but first since Willie Mays, 21, I believe, 21 or younger. I'm probably going to botch this stat, but 21 years young or younger, where he hit 6 home runs in 8 games as a rookie. I think that's what the stat is. First since Willie Mays did it. So crazy. And obviously what happened today with the honoring of Willie Mays' first Padre home game back after Willie's passing, and then the whole game that happened in Alabama today, which was awesome to see. It was pretty cool to see Jackson make history since Willie Mays. But Were we expecting this home run power from Merrill? No. I think we were expecting that to come later, and I only think he's going to get stronger, so I hope that only better things are to come from Jackson. Adam Mazur tonight, it was one of those where, like, all right, let's just, hopefully he's not going to give up a bunch of damage, and he was one pitch away from giving up, one run in the outing, but Adames got to him. At the end of the day, though, what mattered was the Padres, they got the win. That's what I cared about. Tatis, obviously with the bomb, that screenshot that I posted of you had a bunch of Padres fans in the background with the reaction because they knew that it was gone, and they were just admiring how long that was. And Tatis, his bat was in midair, like huge bat flip, bat launch. He knew it was gone immediately. You had who was it? Wilson was his name? Bryce Wilson, I think. The Brewers starter wasn't even looking at the ball. His head was like down on the mound just because he knew that ball got launched. So that was just amazing. That was a Tatis signature bomb. And so that's great to see. But I think, some Padres fans are probably going to look at this like, while it was like a fun night because it ended in a walk-off, that very well could have been oh man, that's a bad loss. Very well could have been, but it wasn't. They were able to get it done. Jeremiah Estrada, though, he's not going to be available, I wouldn't think, the rest of the weekend. Maybe he's available Sunday, but I don't know. This is the first time that he's pitched 3 straight days in a row, I believe, in the big leagues. So we'll see how he responds to that. But the good news is Robert Suarez should be available for at least the next couple days if he pitches the next couple days. I wouldn't think that they'd go with him 3 straight days in a row. But because Mazur wasn't able to go super long, that's where it became this game of, okay, who's going to get in this game? And I was wondering, were they going to go with Kolek at some point in this game? Because who else were they going to go to? But they were able to get it done. Estrada, I assume that he felt well enough to pitch. Like, the Padres asked how he felt, and he said he was good, and that's why he was available today. Because they were not going to make both of those guys available today. That was not going to happen. But Croney, getting back real quick to just, go back to the walk-off homer. The at-bat was not looking great. He just swung at a pitch that was like 2 feet inside. And so he was really battling up there, the Jace Tingler B word. He was really battling up there. We were just waiting to see if that ball was fair or foul. And then once it was fair, obviously you saw the celebration. It's just one of those where I'm just thankful the Padres were able to squeak this win out.